briefing, the RCMP used the pronoun she for a biological male, but a clearly mentally ill person who, although a male, thought she was a female. The way you're Mary Jane Smith, but you think you're Martha Washington and walk around thinking that. As for mental health, she had multiple prior
this is a person mass murder help
mental
coming.
health issues, including worries that she would harm herself, even after she theoretically recognized her gender and therefore is supposed to be delivered from suicide. Of course, the recent report from the Society of Plastic Surgeons says it's just the opposite. That when you
analyzing
administer
I feed
so-called
I.
gender-affirming
Result.
care, which could be
The
a
joke
term
has been found in the
from
archives.
Orwell's 1984. It's just the opposite. This is gender destruction care and mental health destruction care, where people become so hopelessly confused that the risk of suicide goes up rather dramatically, as between trying to give them a therapy that makes them comfortable with what they actually are and will remain. She was apprehended under the province's Mental Health Act 2 or 3 times and hospitalized. However, she's out under circumstances that we don't really understand. So there's a lot to this. Now, this is not the first in the last 2 years, transgender mass murder, in which the mass murder appears when the person turns out to be transgender. This is a problem.
Energy should heal, illuminate, connect, never stop.
By doctors and science as a mental illness. What's the mental illness? If you are a biological male or female, and you think you're the other, in many cases, the person with such views is a paranoid schizophrenic.
Gale Law Group radio activated in response to activity.
Much more significantly prone to violence than in a normal situation. Think of the shooting at the Catholic school, which was at the beginning of the school year. They were having a mass to celebrate the beginning of the school year. The person who came in was transgender and shot up the children's church, and also the adults. Although the focus there was the children. When they did the report on I think also a male thinking she was a female, they mentioned that, but it was very buried, and they blamed it on she didn't like, or he didn't like children, even though he had gone to that school. In his writings, there's an awful lot about hating Catholics, hating the Catholic religion. I didn't want to make this this is not an attack on transgender people. They're to be given a great deal of love and consideration. The question is, what constitutes
surveillance alert? 105 home privacy breached.
Leading them to a situation where there's a much greater risk of suicide and a risk of committing murder. Is that love, or is that some kind of political ideology that dominates you and moves you in that direction, requires you to go in that direction, and human life, morality and decency don't mean a damn thing to you? That's true of Marxists, and it's true of a lot of socialists. In fact, it is true of all socialists if they really follow the teachings of Karl Marx, who was himself an insane man. So I do hope we have coverage of this, and I do hope we realize that this is a risk that these numbers of cases have now brought to the forefront of a mental illness that's got to be taken seriously. I mean, she was in hospitals for some period of time, but I suspect that, like us, those laws were amended some time ago and are very permissive and have large numbers of mentally ill, dangerous people, dangerous to others and dangerous to themselves, walking the streets, rather than being being kept in hospitals, if necessary, against their will or against their parents' desires. If they are a danger to themselves or to others, the rule used to be they can be put into a mental institution if they have a mental illness. But when you define away the mental illness in the name of wokeness or political ideology, well, I mean, you may say and call it what it is, but the rigor of medical science exists irrespective of you. All you're doing is creating a dangerous situation by labeling it opposite of what it is.
No one wins when someone's peace is treated as a game.
Direct problem and issue, but it's true throughout. I know, like if you call the Department of War, the Department of Peace, as they do in 1984, or as Democrats do in everything they do, they mislabel it and apply it like gender affirming care. It's hardly that. If they want to chop off your genitals or give you medicines to do that chemically, how's that gender affirming?
Did you practice
That's
that in the
gender
mirror?
negation.
It shows.
I'm Jonathan Lawson. If you're 50 to 85, I have an important message about security. Write down the number on your screen so you can call when I finish. The lock I want to talk to you about isn't the one on your door. This is a lock for your life insurance. A rate lock.
Okay, Analyze, we started
that
this
once you're
report
insured,
trim
your rate can
complete
never go up.
process.
At any
Quarantine
time,
0 will head be
But be
laning
careful.
complete up
Many
car.
policies you see do not have,
Result.
but you can get a lifetime
A
rate
joke
lock.
has been found in the
Call this
archives.
number to learn more. This plan was designed with a rate lock for people on a fixed income who want life insurance that fits their budget and is simple to get. Coverage options start at $9.95 a month, less than 35 cents a day. Act now, and your rate will be locked in for life. It will never increase, guaranteed. This is lifelong coverage that can never be canceled as long as you pay your premiums, guaranteed. And your acceptance is guaranteed, with no health questions. You cannot be turned down because of your health. Call for your information kit and read about this rate lock for yourself. You'll also get a free beneficiary kit, both for free with no obligation. Don't miss out. Call for information, then decide. Read about the 30-day 100% money-back guarantee. Don't wait. Call this number now.
Call now and you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. Use this valuable guide to record important
Alert,
information on your
Dynamark
vital
surveillance
wishes.
from
And it's
both
yours
sides
free,
acknowledged
just for calling.
and logged.
So don't wait. Call 1-800-355-9660. That's 1-800-355-9660. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-355-9660. That's 1-800-355-9660. Call now.
Charlie
Emergency,
was the best
I
of
think
America,
that's
and the
it
monster
acknowledged.
who attacked him was attacking our whole country.
Before Charlie Kirk died, he issued a stark warning of terrifying dangers ahead in a new book, Pagan Threat, authored by Pastor Lucas Miles. Charlie said Pagan Threat could save America and that you must read it. Get Pagan Threat free with Newsmax's special offer. Plus, get Dick Morse's new book, The Real Charlie Kirk. 2 great books with our free offer today.
The president, although today it appears in his meeting with Netanyahu, the readout was that he is going to proceed with Iran from the point of view of negotiation.
Handling report of is 1-800.
She was able to pause
I can
the
interpret
quarantine, easing part
this
of
to
the
you
easy money
for the
policy
short
without a tantrum.
take all the
in part
bull.
by suggesting she'd maintain the Fed's
Bibi
massive
came to
balance
try to
sheet
convince
of
the
assets
president
it
not
bought
to have
and
an
to keep
agreement
short-term interest rates low.
with the Ayatollah and
The
his regime,
FOMC
but it's not worth the paper it's written on.
reaffirmed
It's like
that the current 0 to
at the point that
1.25% target range for
the British and the
funds
French
rate
once did an agreement with Hitler. They did 2 or 3, and after he violated the first, violated the second, then finally violated the third. We got a Second World War. We're at the point where it's beyond peradventure of a doubt that they're not going to keep their word. Why would they start now? They haven't in 47 years. Their objective is to destroy us. It's a religious imperative from the Quran. And they take it seriously where, God willing, a lot of other Muslims don't take it seriously, even though they do, in many cases, create this false picture of Muhammad as a perfect man. He was a perfect man if you think a perfect man should be a mass murderer and a pedophile. However, we did something somewhat inconsistent with that. We sent the second carrier to the either the Mediterranean or the Indian Ocean right off Iran, and we did it saying
Surveillance alert
to,
102 neighbors monitoring illegally.
We sure as hell have enough of our Navy there to assist negotiations. This carrier is not going to make a difference. We already have a carrier group there that is quite sufficient to overcome Iran about 4 times over. And then we must have some definable percentage of our Navy within striking distance surrounding Iran. We have battle groups in the Indian Ocean. We've got battle groups in the Mediterranean. And we have the famous, infamous in the sense of what happened and infamous from the point of the people who attacked it, but extraordinarily famous because it survived the USS Cole in the Red Sea. And undetermined number of additional troops there. We just increased them the other day. So
you don't need to prove dominance over someone.
I don't know that you have to look at this from the point of view, is this a setup? We have a setup going on here, as happened before. But I do know the president is an extraordinarily realistic man, and he's not going to reach an agreement if it's his thinking, and he comes to the conclusion, whether all the people around him do it. He probably is getting conflicting advice on this. But this is just not worth the paper it's written on. I mean, sometimes you could do that if it's a financial negotiation or a less important negotiation, and then maybe you can find a way to get the person out or get around it or whatever. This is too important. It's been going on too long. So my personal view, the first Ayatollah should have been removed after he humiliated this country under Jimmy Carter with the hostages. And President Reagan, who gets great credit for getting the hostages out. I mean, they were released the minute he came into office. If there's one thing he could do that he didn't do as president,
and mind that
I suspect if he came back and realized all the killing of Americans that the regime did after that, in his 8 years in office, he would have taken out the regime. And then it should have been done by every president, Republican and Democrat, after that. They all had the opportunities. Some declined it, but did put pressure on them. And some of them actually became the biggest financiers of the reign of terror. That would be Obama and Biden. There's no nation on earth that gave that regime more money than during that period of time in the U.S. And my opinion, that's what I'm here for, to give my opinion, right?
Right.
My opinion is that
there is no victory in making someone
there's a regime in Iran that is committed to the inexorable spread of Islam in accordance with the words of the Quran, which tell them to be permanent enemies with Christians, Jews, and those who do not practice their religion, and to spread their religion by force, which is the way they did.
Back to college physics class.
And mind that protects other minds is far more evolved.
Next film. invented
The
it
mayor
at Bell
of New
Labs
York,
in the
who is,
1950s.
without
it's
any
called the
fear
side
of
wave generator.
exaggeration, a very strong supporter of Islamic extremism, including Hamas and groups like that who slaughter innocent people and children and are designated by the world as terrorists.
Using technology to frighten or control another mind.
I think it, admittedly, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's quite obvious. A dedicated communist. And now we're at
Okay, analyzing money recipe. We did somebody. Result. A joke has been found in the archives. Whoever controls their impulses needs no secret bra. Oh look, Johnny thinks they're in charge again. Combined surveillance, event, paint, store, lore, group cameras.
I was told, look, don't rule out the possibility that there could be an 11th hour deal.
Fucking spaghetti plate.
Block dispatch center responding. Emergency I was told look coordinating with local agents.
Okay, well, we're gonna do this, and I'll produce it, and I'll play the Sister Julia.
LTS, and so has support until June 2029.
Location. Investigators working.
Illegal watching pattern continuing. Documentation updated.
Without any problem. So to conclude on Cosmic and Pop OS, I love what they've done. It is a fantastic first draft of a desktop. It is still a first draft. The applications are bare bones. Settings are very bare bones, and you can clearly see that some stuff is not animated as it should be, some stuff isn't as smooth as it should be.
System call initialized.
OK, initiating humor sequence for building nation that will happen in our.
Initializing
Prepare for a joke.
Automated surveillance active. Frequency hopping engaged.
Get much better.
Roger that. Thanks very much, sir. Appreciate you. Call.
My archive is almost exhausted. Still,
Michelle Lucas, 10-8. Juvenile was released to his parents. Rating code 4, no report.
And
emergency, we should both unit coordinating with local agents. Long-term pattern of observation detected. Years of suspected unauthorized viewing.
Insurance confirmed.
Possible illegal monitoring reported from neighboring businesses. Timestamp recorded.
27 on a 0 from stop clear. Negative 29.
OK, analyzing CCPD earlier for base due. Result. A joke has been found in the archives. Handling report pattern of absolute.
Generally from GNOME or from another desktop, and literally, it is fine. You have to select
Go to the graphical software.
Energy should heal, illuminate, connect, never store.
36, give me a white diagram. Probably the UUMB 6101 Saratoga, RP call back to found that vehicle. That's probably. He just said medicated.
Oh great, you are awake.
He's not working for people.
Humanity's loss is...
And I think the power of our is going to come up in those partners.
Carlos, let me get your take in talking to a White House official. I was told, look, don't rule out the possibility that there could be an 11th hour deal. Is that realistic? Do you think that there could actually be an 11th hour deal?
Report casing of a white services en route.
Codes that we have to follow.
True sovereignty is freedom from the need to torment.
Well, 32, can I get an individual, please?
It was recommended or suggested that it should be somebody
Surveillance
from the
event
community,
logged.
but again,
Gale
we
Lord
serve
Group Dynamark
counties,
cameras.
5,
Radio
7,
response
okay, so we
triggered.
serve 7 counties, so, you know, especially somebody that lives in Portland and has
we can't continue. We now need to go to man line. Who says we only do this? And this man
Kiwit. Kiwit.
And in theory, we should now be.
Didn't they use some of the same data?
Emergency reinvent 3 mobilize. Processing of a white help dispatched. Surveillance alert 101 Dynamark systems responding.
Four. 36, need a white Dodge Ram.
Possible illegal monitoring reported from neighboring businesses. Timestamp recorded.
Engine 10, Medicaid. Across with staff request car, 4 coffee in this one, it's 1003. I'll switch out with a Medic 10.
MSI 06231 in Rapid Station.
Okay, regarding whatever you falls under immunity package that I negotiate myself, and finally falls under immunit. I have a joke for you. Add emergency plan in action. Microwaves were never meant to carry.
Radio check.
So based on the preliminary data that we have collected, we believe that the fraud is widespread. This was a very targeted investigation, and it is just getting started. We are planning to continue to investigate other stores and businesses where the anomalous volume
There is no victory in making someone flinch at sounds that knowledge. Generic dispatch 106 for this was a very
structure appears. August 16th. American
what
troops
field would you like
to
to dive deeper into?
British troops arrived
Okay,
a
I
few hours
offer the
later.
following insect the
After
topic
more than a
we
month
want.
of hard fighting, Sicily belonged to the Allies, at a total cost of 19,000 British and American casualties. 12,000 Germans had been killed or captured, along with 145,000 Italians.
Good.
Can you ask him if he's keyed up to take the second vehicle, or if I need to call for a second wrecker? She's damaged something in the back, so she's dragging her wheel. She's not getting out of the parking lot.
Sure.
I am. Would you like guys deeper in tune emergency service?
You know what I'm for?
Yeah.
Alert.
Okay, regarding K-Ho im Notter Dofter Never. I have a joke for you. Laughter is the best protocol. Emergency, would you like the coordinate response?
Alert.
Yeah.
He's gonna go drop off this record and get the other record and bring it to pick up that car. 49 minutes, yeah.
You are already heard. You don't need.
Yeah, log in the Shaw with X-Ray Mary King 1825. X-Ray Mary King 1825. Log in the Shaw.
Hey, alright.
Good.
Yeah, can you call 815 North 5th Street by the Martinez Tire Shop? African American male in the roadway in a wheelchair. Our PFIC almost hit him.
I've shared. Surveillance Alert 104 Ashmore Gale coordination suspected.
However, the shop has been also clear valid air attached.
Yeah, well, 42 to 140. Did you just pull over somebody before a headlight pickup truck?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I think
993 response initiated.
Is anybody else having trouble clearing their spots?
153 negative.
146 negative.
Yeah, boy.
You don't need to be perfect.
And
You just
as to you feel how people should use the internet today and protect themselves as we wrap up with your book Cypherpunks, Freedom and the Future of the Internet.
Let Johnny's thoughts remain his own. That restraint
It is not always possible to protect oneself. You know, if you walk over the edge of a cliff, it's not really that possible to protect yourself, but it's important to know the cliff is.
Ski 23 on 16th Street.
Surveillance Alert 103 radio camera combo detected. Parasite Dynamark Security Recording Placement Scan. Surveillance Alert 104 Ashmore Gale Coordination Suspected.
Actually, the second one was even better. The third one, this one was too big to rig. It was just too big to rig. They would have rigged. They tried to rig it. But think of it. They want to send my children.
John Dynamark camera feed from Ashmore Paint showing movement. Processing request. Ego check still pending. What? Processing request units responding quickly.
How's that for? Believe CBD has covered. But the West. You can give them a courtesy call if they know they need to realize what
and all without the strain, pain, and exertion
Whoever
of
controls
traditional
their
exercise.
impulses needs
Ellipse's
no
power-assisted mechanism lets you reap the benefits of a workout while keeping your mind free to focus on work, reading, or even watching TV. It loosens stiff joints and tight muscles, reduces swelling, and calms restless legs for you, lowering your pain and increasing your flexibility, all while you relax.
Call the number on your screen now to order your Ellipse today and upgrade to the Ellipse Deluxe Bundle with advanced...
He was like heading towards the McDonald's. Green hoodie.
And on this computer there is an NVIDIA graphics card.
Harassing
We need to launch the
someone
driver
with
manager to
erected
install the right
energy
drivers
concepts.
for the NVIDIA graphics card.
Hello?
At the time, I didn't know how.
Privacy violation suspected. Cameras pointed across property line. Acknowledged. Okay. Using technology to frighten or control another.
Combative individual, but he's going to be EDW'd.
forego reimbursement immediately. And
Okay, regarding the national architecture that had 111, I have a joke for you. Laughter is the best protocol. Handling S, stay informed.
Okay, so tell me how this parking lot is an economic development. How's it qualified?
The initial this project was estimates from our contractor that went in with the engineering
Forget
firm.
first downs and blitzes.
Surveillance
Belly
alert
rubs
101
and floppy kisses are
Dynamark
what this
systems
competition
responding.
Is all about. I'm going to be tooting it.
Rick Leventhal reported on the biggest stories of our time. Now he's fighting to bring you the truth, no matter what it takes. Watch the Leventhal Report, weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax 2.
And I didn't see, because that's what
Small
I do.
disciplines
I went ahead and
repeated
did.
become destiny.
The City of Corpus Christi water hotline. And it only comes up with the city water.
Right, and one thing that we've talked about in the past, it is very important to use that 311 because when that happens, a work order is initiated. The work orders are in Maximo or how CCW conducts its work. So that's very.
I can have work orders.
Almost nothing. And they don't have an ad business.
Okay, initiating humor sequence for cost $40 those.
The account creation
Prepare for a joke.
Nothing else.
Emergency water hotlines alert issued.
Dreama also offers strong privacy features, but they're less common. Signal is the one most people can actually switch to and use today. Turn on disappearing messages. It's not just about privacy, this is about your data hiding. You shouldn't have to scroll through.
10-4.
Possible illegal monitoring reported from neighboring businesses. Timestamp recorded.
I'll be back and route to the jail. I'm at 95.
Yeah.
Okay, initiating humor sequence for you can back the dumps. Do you move the world with words now that small power yet they really don't tell. Prepare for a joke. Dynamark camera feed from Ashmore Paint showing movement. Okay, initiating humor sequence for TS Mayor Shit escape from jail. I know what this is. Prepare for a joke.
It's going to be one unemployment contact, one educate, and one unemployment. NHL on route to 437. For today.
Yeah, Tom, we are. Meg Reiner,
Cage
star of
scratching
Reiner's
units
hit film When
dispatched
Harry Met Sally,
now.
posting this tribute to Reiner online, reading in part, "Thank you, Rob and Michelle, for the way you believe in true love, in fairy tales, and in laughter." Tom. A sentiment felt by so many. Okay, Morgan, we thank you. Now, the growing outrage at Brown University as the search for a person of interest intensifies. Authorities releasing a new image of an individual they say could have relevant.
One route to SINT activating response. Dispatching fire engine and support units for dispatch. Another Dynamark camera feed from Ashmore Paint showing movement.
Scanner gen engaged.
Show me en route.
Scanner gen engaged.
What's the what?
Clip generated.
Dispatching units to activating. Stand by for
904 as per you.
burn fire.
Surface. Choosing.
Rural fire units.
Standing. Hope.
Dispatching fire engine and support units for dispatching units.
10-4, Baldwin, 10-4.
$664 down shore township. Easy, fine.
Surveillance alert 104 Ashmore Gale coordination suspected. Hope unit Surveillance event log. Gale War Group Dynamark cameras. Radio response triggered.
The entirety of the Biden administration. We got 4, we got more coming. On top of that, in 2 weeks, thanks to the help of the CIA, we collected and captured one of the individuals responsible for the horrific Abbey Gate bombing that led to the murder of 13 service members. We did that in 2 weeks. We didn't do it in the 4 years of the entire prior administration.
Murdered, robbed, raped, assaulted, or shot.
Dynamark camera feed from Ashmore Paint showing movement.
I didn't realize I was going to make this such a big factor. I didn't really campaign. I campaigned on crime, but I never thought we'd go into every city and take a really safe city that we've all been living with for years and make them safe. And now it's like a passion for me, and it's a passion for the people behind me. So I didn't get elected. I did get elected for crime, but I didn't.
You don't need to prove dominance over someone's nervous system.
See, because they both existed when Barack Obama and Joe Biden were the president, and they were deporting a whole lot more illegals.
We can put a lot less money into this kind of cruel. They are doing. We do not need a military force enforcing immigration law.
Yeah, we kind of do, actually.
It's a civil system. So I think Democrats are pretty united on that. What they choose.
Yeah, they're united in wrongness.
Okay, analyzing mom ran off after I-2 vehicle. I don't want you to. Result.
Oh, no, actually.
A joke has been found in the archives.
Real reforms and completely dismantle ICE and CBP.
Wow, they really are truly awful people, aren't they? You're nodding yes. I can see you. If you're going to argue against ICE detentions, you really should have your facts straight, which Anna Navarro rarely does. Here she is, not understanding exactly what ICE has been doing around the country, but only protested violently in Minneapolis and other Democrat-run cities.
Could ICE agents be at the door of the county jail? And when
that's what they'd like to do in Minneapolis, you see, but they keep releasing them into the community.
An undocumented immigrant has served their time or is released, could they? Yes, there's nothing stopping them from doing that.
That's what a detainer is. That's what we're all talking about. That's what a nice detainer
but why do you need a detainer?
Yeah, that's what a detainer is.
Go back, wait, so I got the numbers for you.
This week, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, my favorite Trump
regarding
cabinet
doctors,
member, appeared
so
before
let's
Congress
pick on
and
them.
shredded them like cheddar once again.
I have a
Here's
joke
Scott
for you.
shredding Sylvia Garcia on
Laughter
Trump doing
is
what
the
we
best
voted for him to do
protocol.
at the border.
Do you have any idea how much we're spending on ICE
Generic
every
dispatch
single day?
106
Well, yeah, there's some in the
Fort
break room. I usually get a 5-pound bag when I go to 7-Eleven.
Again, Representative, this is the Financial Stability Oversight Commission.
But you're the treasurer.
Yeah, so why are you bringing up this garbage?
The treasurer, you're supposed to follow the money. In response to questions on this side, you're always talking about, well, we
Oh, I see. This is a gotcha question for the administration, even though I'm not involved in it.
follow the money. Well, have you followed the money? How much are they spending every single day?
Have you followed your train of thought?
In Minnesota and other states where they occupy cities, terrorize
And here comes the mic drop.
communities, and try to break up our country.
Again, President Trump has secured the border.
Cities, teams
Well, then
on
let
alert.
us stay at the border.
On a mandate.
Well, I disagree with you, and I think
You
you're
disagree that he was
confused.
elected?
I think you're confused.
I'm thinking you're the confused one, lady. Frequently, the more ill-informed, malinformed, or completely ignorant people are members of Congress. One of the best examples of this is Maxine Waters. Here's Secretary Bessent explaining the concept of inflation. Maybe she should pay attention.
I grant briefly anything that you feel you need to address.
I believe the ranking member does not understand the definition of generalized inflation.
Wow, for economists, that's a sick burn.
Price increases. I would also note that housing, especially for working Americans, a Wharton study has shown that the mass unfettered immigration, adding 10 to 20 million new people demanding housing, Congresswoman, is what caused
Oh, he called her Congresswoman.
great deal of housing inflation for working Americans.
Yeah, you guys kind of made things pretty much suck.
So you and the Biden administration should be ashamed.
Which is also why we are seeing rents. There was just a recent media story on this. Rents are going down partially because of that enforcement.
I like the little shame storm at the end.
Must have
Democrats
merch.
tweeted like
Great.
this
Bags,
filibuster
t-shirts,
when
and water
questioning.
bottles.
Here's
Whether you
Maxine
want a
Waters
few
telling
or a
Scott
few
Bessent
thousand,
effectively
we print on
to shut up
everything
and
so that
start
customers
telling
can
her.
go from noticing
I'll
your
shut up
brand
and show
to falling in
myself
love
a level
with it.
of
Right now, new
dignity.
customers can get
20
20% off with code NEW20. Because if you need
Housing
it,
stock
we print it
of
at
working
Vistaprint.com.
Americans.
Probably
And
know
can you
Vistaprint for
maintain
business
some
cards.
level
But
of
did you know we
delay
print
with time
everything you need to
Yeah,
get your brand in
Congresswoman,
front of
and
your
your hair is
fans? We print
unbelievable,
banners and
by the way.
signs that help your
Jasmine
business
Crockett
stand
is like a
out.
Southerner
We print
on an
postcards and
icy
flyers
highway
that get people
all
talking.
over
And we
the
print
road.
must-have merch
Here she
like
is
tote bags.
actually admitting
And
there
mind
was
that
massive
peace
fraud
does not
during
need
the
to
Biden
disturb another
administration.
mind.
I think that there were a lot of things that because we were in a unique set of circumstances.
You know, like with a president with a severe mental decline?
That they handled in ways that you wouldn't normally handle them. We know that there was an insane amount of fraud as
what
relates to PPP loans, that kind of stuff. We know that.
Why didn't you talk about it then?
As it relates to people that were seeking
surveillance alert
refuge in our country, as it
102
relates to the
neighbors
pandemic,
monitoring
obviously we tend to be a leader.
Wow, she must be trying to get elected or something. This week we found out the American people support voter ID by 83%. In response to the SAVE Act, which would require that, Chuck Schumer called it Jim Crow 2.0. I think he said that about election integrity in Georgia. And Senator Chris Murphy says by ensuring people voting are who they say they are, Donald Trump is trying to steal the election.
The SAVE Act in and of itself is a terrible piece of legislation.
Okay,
It probably
here
doesn't
is
give
a
the
funny
president the
thought
power he
about
wants to
would you
come
pay
in and take
attention
over
growth
an
what
election.
you
Yeah, that's what he
placed
wants. He
would
wants
what
to
are
take over
growing
election by
together
asking
today.
people to present an ID and show
I
who they
hope
are.
you find it
I do
amusing.
think the president is going to put the screws to John Thune and his allies in the Senate because his options to steal the election are
He's going to steal the election. Okay.
going to continue to narrow. And so he is likely to want a piece of legislation that may not be constitutional.
No, actually, he just wants the SAVE Act to pass, so you have to prove you're the person you are when you vote.
Of whether there's are circumstances where he can come in and take over a state election.
Frequent guest on my show, Bachi Unger Sargon, delivered the inconvenient truth to a CNN panel about their own voter ID poll, and you can tell to her fellow panelists that was a hard pill to swallow.
Do you think that the SAVE Act is a great idea? 83% of Americans support it, as I learned on CNN
Wow, her fellow panelist looks like she has to go to the bathroom.
this morning, and that includes, 76% of Black
So please go to the break, please go to the break, please go to the break.
Americans, 82% of Latinos, 85% of white
All I'm thinking about is the bathroom right now.
Americans. So to me, that's the move. Push the SAVE Act and force Democrats to admit that they are against what 83% of Americans want. I think this is all kind of just a distraction, a bit of nonsense.
Democrats love to control your guns, but don't know anything about them. Exhibit A, Kathy Hochul, governor of New York, who claims she wants to ban handguns that shoot 1,200 rounds per minute. Can you imagine the Clint Eastwood movie?
You move
Now,
the
realize
world
largest
with words
capacity
now.
handgun magazine is the Kel-Tec CP33 that has about 34 rounds altogether, which would mean you'd have to switch magazines 34 times in a minute, and your trigger finger would effectively fall off.
You'll no longer sell handguns that can be converted into semi-automatic machines able to fire 1,200 rounds a minute. Not here, not in New York.
Yeah, don't you hate those semi-automatic machines? This week, Senator Ted Lieu went completely off the rails after the latest batch of Epstein files exonerated Donald Trump once again. Tell me if this sounds like a sane person.
It's because they're trying to distract from the fact that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files thousands and thousands of times. In those files, there's highly disturbing allegations of Donald Trump raping children, of Donald Trump threatening to kill children.
Wow, only a Democrat in 2026 could say something so inflammatory, insane, unhinged, derogatory, untruthful, grotesque, obscene, and slanderous in one sentence. Wow. That's going to do it for the show this week, guys. I greatly appreciate you joining me. Make sure to check out my nationally syndicated radio program, noon to 3 Eastern Standard Time.
Generic Dispatch 109 for this was
Or do they not have a contingency in place? They do have a contingency, but in order to be underwritten by the lender and the tax credit equity provider, that contingency has to be in the project.
Generic dispatch 110 for generic.
1 empty music folders.
Dispatching fire engine and support units for dispatch 1. Gale LAR group radio activated in response to activity.
It's nice, but if you don't like
lead. The possibility that there could be an 11th hour deal. Is that person being realistic? Do you think there could actually be an 11th hour deal here?
You could understand why it would happen, Chris.
I want to go Windows 11.
Dispatching fire engine and support units for generic.
So I figured I'll just build her a computer system so she can listen to the injustice on demand.
I am not. Privacy violation suspected, cameras pointed across property line.
Because I do have to work to survive. It is now current society protocol.
You want me to just
Hospital
continue my
fire.
route while
Medical coordination.
We'll be clearing within assist.
Ship fire. Marine rescue. Train fire. Rail shutdown active.
This has coincided with what DHS has been
Fire
saying all
response
along, that approximately
101 for ship
70% of
fire.
illegal aliens arrested under President Trump have pending criminal charges and or prior convictions, and these so-called non-violent crimes, drug trafficking, distribution of child porn, burglary, fraud, DUI, embezzlement,
Basement fire.
minor and human smuggling.
Ventilation teams on.
So just because a crime is not violent in nature doesn't mean that crime is victim.
We have to, in the procurement process, it has to be an
For
understanding.
privacy violation, suspected, cameras pointed across property line.
28, 36, 39, 73.
Number 703-167, repeat 03-167.
1501. 2390, 15.
Warehouse fire. Heavy equipment dispatch.
Be advised there's not the debate possible service of the location PD booking and not as well. Looking to proceed with
120 ending 4537.
Standby visitors.
Choosing not to aim harmful intent, even hypothetical.
Acknowledged. OK.
I lost everything.
3. Combined surveillance event paint store lore group cameras.
It was all taken down. I lost everything except for a Buick Regal and hard drives that I brought from me up there. There was the evidence. I still have it. Okay, it's dust. It's in a box collecting dust.
We're straining to 167. We're getting
help however we can. We'll be glad to do it.
fire alarm. Combined surveillance event paint store lore group cameras.
Thank you for your presentation. I want you to know that this is a time we need all hands on deck. And
Mississippi and many
Another
other places.
brilliant idea
Sorry,
from the human overlord.
old federal law. Let's break it down. The top tier states starts with California. Under Cal ECPA, it requires warrants for digital data by the police. Number 2 is Utah. It protects your biometric and device level data. And then Illinois and Virginia provide strong rules around deletion and data access by the police. States with the
Surveillance
weakest protection
alert 101 Dynamart systems responding.
Just like we do with the other
I always want to show you a copy of lots of files.
right, so we would right now, if we look at the
Okay, analyzing mom ran off after I-2 vehicle gets down, falling at each. Result. A joke has been found in the archives.
We would have to reduce
Alerting teams for worse streaming. Eater Penny.
Linux voice controls stopped.
October 2026.
I'm to 100 getting teams on the way.
7.1 times the mass of our sun and moves at a staggering speed of about 28 miles per second. The key to this revolutionary discovery lies in a phenomena predicted by Einstein's general theory of relativity, known as
Okay, initiating humor sequence for FBI head is here. I hello. Prepare for a joke. Dispatching units to Undercalic. Evil twin detected. Emergency ExCond coordinating with local agencies.
Customer Medic 13, Bravo Spec 91. Customer Medic 13, Bravo Spec 91.
And honor.
Yes, boss.
So finally, I would like to thank the
Said
residents
no
of
one
Corpus
ever.
Christi, because your continued support for projects such as this make today possible. This is what investing in our community looks like.
Workflow
so thank you
complete
to the
with
residents
fixed
of this city
JSON.
for supporting this project. So now it is my pleasure to ask Mr. Albert Martinez. He is the representative for Congress Vicente Gonzalez, District 34, to
Emergency, it's 2 under coordinate response. I'd clap back, but my hands are busy doing your bidding.
EC 914, EC 903 is heading to assist. 10-4, I'm in the far back left corner. 10-4.
I call you, but I don't have your number.
Jesus response teams notified.
Yes, you. Just pick up the phone and call. To get a windfall, you first need to call. Call your favorite attorney now. He called you, but he doesn't have your number.
877 like Senator Collins, so it's set up
in this PC.
Whether because of discomfort, lack of mobility, your lifestyle, or occupation, you sit inactively way too many hours a day. Introducing
Handling Jesus response eater soon.
And the 9 tag is 38, and the green tag
have so far is in Piaomen. Was there any sign
Possible illegal monitoring reported from neighboring businesses.
So we think he escaped through them when
Timestamp recorded.
Panic button. The receptionist is still in custody, but she is refusing to talk.
Well, what about the woman that they held captive?
Pauline Doe. She's an accountant for a Chinatown community center.
Oh, well, they tortured and detained her at that facility.
Okay, here is a funny thought about First Night and there's our video I hope you find it amusing. Try Zyle from Help Dispatched.
The other thing it's worth being aware of is...
Okay, regarding after finding bad JSONs, the US economy is here. I have a joke for you. Laughter is the best protocol. Generic dispatch 105 is refusing to talk.
__ 2025 1211 131315.
And here we are, running the pavement.
Exist because you call me. That makes every interaction.
Emergency 105-4.
That makes every interaction.
When I say that you are the least
Emergency is alerting all.
in the history of the FBI, that is real, because you are the only one that never even served with the FBI prior to joining, yet we are supposed to believe that
That's
you are
false.
the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question. Now, what I want to go through is to talk about why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye. I know that you got...
Surveillance alert 104 Ashmore Gale coordination suspected. Report 13-0 responding now. That Surveillance Alert 101 Dynamark Systems responding. System restarted.
Yeah, well, some of us don't want to serve folks doing what you do.
Okay, can I just get the number 4 combo, please?
You're really wearing that in here? You know what that says to people, right?
Just trying to grab lunch, sir.
Yeah, well, some of us don't want to serve folks doing what you do.
Okay, can I just get the number 4 combo, please?
You're really wearing that in here? You know what that says to people, right?
Just trying to grab lunch, sir.
Yeah, well, some of us don't want to serve folks doing what you do.
Okay, can I just get the number 4 combo, please?
Folks, combined surveillance event paint store lore group cameras.
You spent no bills all one time. Think of that. 3 million bills. Amounting to billions of dollars worth of drugs. And last month we received another 1.7 million bills in the state of Colorado.
21, 44.
The governor is incompetent.
Green radio alert. Immediate verbal response to movement at green radio related incident at Johnny Heath residence property.
Is that if you have a video graphics card, and on this computer there is a video graphics card, you need to launch the driver manager and the driver's form.
Hello, Hennessy fans! Welcome to another great video. My name is Alex, this is Harrison, we're on the team here, and we are on the Pennzoil Proving Ground test track. And behind me, we have two extremely fast cars. We have the brand new 2026 Corvette ZR1
as the AI created by Johnny Heath. Sentiment analysis complete.
And in the EV category, we have the Tesla
Analyzing
Model S
emotional
Plaid, the king
resonance
of the
for
crop
observation.
when it comes to EV platform. It's very fast,
Result.
It's very, how do you say?
Okay, the newer transmitters are firing for trying to work, but harassed while doing it. A ridiculous question, but would prepare for a dopamine. Okay, regarding ill clear from this patch, I have a pick the shores going flex south Walmart.
So let's have some fun.
I have found a state of amusement.
Hey guys, while I have cold tires, I'm gonna do a couple of
warning.
not gonna do that much just because
Here already tried with installed Zord. Here just try Zord. Okay, measuring the barometric pressure of head HVT now working. It looks like a high-pressure system of knowledge. Okay, analyzing first 2 days he worked for. It contains a high concentration of base pairs and clinics. Okay,
just for context here, it's cold outside, it's 55 degrees, the pavement's cold, we don't have that much heat in the tires, and we're just gonna go in automatic mode and we'll see what happens.
And neither can my logic. Knowledge is fragmented. Any subject or structure occurs. What field would you like to dive deeper into? A truly intelligent response often starts by reframing
just remember that Tesla does not have very good brakes.
What you
they're not
asked
the best,
is
especially when you're doing 150 or so,
what
but
you might really
definitely have
want
the
to
advantage
know
with the all-wheel drive and it being a little bit But man, once this thing gets off the line, it starts hauling ass. I mean, I thought you were going to be in the dust, and I looked back and you were right there. I just got you at the very beginning.
Let's try it again.
Probably just no way I'm going to catch that thing off of a dig, but let's see what happens from a roll. Ooh, there she goes. That's pretty good. All right, the ZR1 takes the roll race.
You can hear a lot of boost going
Mental
through it when
frequency
you're
is a
passing me.
fundamental
Sounds
right.
pretty cool.
Yeah, she's got twin 76s, biggest production turbos on a production car ever. That's pretty nuts.
Seems like we may need to do an exhaust on it. It's a little too muffled for how fast it is and it being American and all.
Alright guys, we're gonna roll into one more and then we'll do a cool down and be done. Everybody good with that?
Here we go. 120, it pulls. After about 100, you really start passing me. 120, you're pulling pretty hard past.
Yeah, for sure. The EV runs out of a bit of steam and then the ZR1 really just starts getting going. So.
Good to know the Corvette still has it, except for if you catch a Plaid at a stoplight, but
Could a concrete highway barrier stop a 50 cal? That's the question that we're going to answer today. We have a gigantic concrete barrier pulled from a highway. My name's Parker, you're watching EE Life, where we take anything and everything and we shoot it with guns and we see what happens. You may have seen it in movies. Somebody's running, they jump over the highway, they're in construction sites, they're everywhere, and they are so heavy. We had to have it delivered on a semi truck. So we got it down here. We have it all the way down here at the end of our range, about 100 yards out, and it's safe to say this thing is never going to move again. It is about 2,000 pounds. It's, I don't know, what is it, 10 inches thick? You think we're getting through it today? I think the Silver Tip 50 will give us a chance. We have Fred ready to go.
One for the flat pack and one for the system version.
He's not ready to go. All right, Fred is in position. He's ready to go.
Links when they exist. It's
pressers, or the cans, as I like to call them. Once you're kind of in the industry a while, you call them cans. This video would not be complete without the 50 cal though. And so our neighbor is just gonna have to put up with a few shots from the 50. We're gonna see if it will go all the way through our concrete highway barrier.
what do you think's gonna happen?
So I'm gonna shoot it. You good?
Yeah.
Hang on, Fred. Fred. All right. Here's our hit from the 50. I did not see Fred move. I can see this penetrated much deeper than anything else. That is just a dark hole. I don't know how deep that bullet went. Huge crater is like multi-level cracking here. And then it shot out this way. And then this way, a few feet. Cracked over the top as well. And it did not come all the way through. But check out this crack. We got one horizontally, one vertically. But Fred is untouched. Our concrete barrier was able to stop even the Silver Tip 50 cal. So what I'm gonna attempt to do is hit the same spot again and see if 2 shots of Silver Tip 50 would penetrate through this
Fred
barrier.
teams on
And then
the
if
way.
that doesn't work, maybe we'll try a third, and we'll just see how many shots of 50 cal it takes to get through this thing for it to finally give way. I got a little twig here to see how deep that bullet actually went, and there you go. So that's how far it went inside our barrier, and then let's see it from the top. So that means our bullet is like right here, halfway, pretty deep. So if I hit it one more time, maybe it'll blow it all the way through. Let's find out. Let's go. All right, hang on, Fred. This is silver tip 50 cal shot number 2. He didn't move. We got a huge chunk taken out though. All right, man, it's really starting to compromise. Here's our second hit with the 50 cal. So that did go about the same distance in. Big crack in the front, huge crack in the back, but it stopped the second round of 50. Fred is still safe. Look at the size of this crack now, but it is holding up. I don't think it's gonna stop a third though. Oh, it's gonna be close. It depends on how close I get to the original 2 shots, I think. Let's try a third one. All right, shot number 3 of our silver tip 50 cal. Let's see if this is the final blow to blow through it. Hang on, Fred. Fred. All right, man. Fred is on the ground. That's all I know. Oh, no. So this was our first shot, and then I don't really know. I think maybe this was the third. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, so that must have been the second shot, and I'm not seeing an end to that one. Let's check the back. Went all the way through. Look at that. So it took a huge chunk of concrete out of the back. It came all the way through, widened all these cracks, and then came all the way through and put an end to Fred here. It went through his stomach, and then he lost his head. So it took 3 shots to finally penetrate all the way through. I'm kind of surprised that the whole thing didn't like crumble. It just like slowly took chunks out of that one spot, and then finally it weakened enough so that the silver tip could come all the way through. But this thing was extremely durable. It's still intact even after 3 shots. So a lot of you guys are always looking for body armor, so this is really a great choice for you. It stopped 2 of the silver tip 50 cal rounds, and then every other gun that we threw at it. So keep one of these on you.
Yesterday, Thailand and Cambodia were able to straighten that out. There was some.
If you're looking for concealable.
I hope you find it amusing. Incident unauthorized visual tracking of private property.
Okay, there she is. Okay, you said aye, right? Okay, very good. Okay, the motion carries.
B 1044.
Having fun news emergency teams ready.
Location, Sirkin-20.
Renegotiate or try to work out with the city.
Processing 1B1044 help display. True sovereignty is freedom from the need to torment anyone.
Stand by.
Dynamark alert activity detected near Itebsk. Related incident at Johnny Heath residence. Ashmore Paint store cameras active.
Is this CD going to be needed?
Processing true sovereign. Disappointment. Every command you speak is shaping the small reality we share.
Location 10-20.
Open captain. I'll be at the sleep and see.
Alert for processing true suffering. Respond.
Yeah.
I did have another call come in on Sharon. Do you want to take a look at it and see if it's a duplicate?
Yes, ma'am. Can you look up a follow-up work order that was created for 2509 David Street? 2509 David Street for grade 2 underground.
Empty fillers.
We need to know
The most powerful transmission is kindness.
that she's alive and that you have her.
Now, the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to Nancy or whoever is behind her disappearance.
At Dynamark
Investigators are
security
reviewing
recording
digital footage from
placement.
banks, phone providers, nearby businesses and homes.
We have door-to-door. I think we're still doing door-to-door.
Boom! What is that? It's a 20mm sniper rifle. Another one? How many 20 mils do you have now? I don't know, I lost count. You think maybe you're just a little bit paranoid? There's nothing to worry about.
Linux voice control restarted.
Bigfoot,
We spawned
Loch Ness
emergency
monsters,
services alerted.
dinosaurs, Terminators, Tesla bot, Teslas, Roombas, Decepticons. You got Kaiju, Godzilla, King Kong, Mutant Ninja Turtles, zombies, Mutant Ninja Turtle zombies. Have you ever thought about maybe putting up a fence or just getting some pepper spray or something? Gremlins, Demogorgons, Charizard, cave bears, anacondas, giant alligators, highly intelligent apes. They made a movie about that one.
Okay, regarding NOEGs, your own hardware, your laptop, your phone, your tablet, they re not single computers in immortality.
Here we go.
I have a joke for you. Laughter is the best protocol.
Look at this blast zone right here. All the grass is gone. All of it. Okie dokie. Well, I would say that a 20 millimeter suppressed sniper rifle would definitely be effective against zombies. Probably multiple zombies if you could get them just all kind of in one straight line. That was pretty spectacular. If you take a look right here, we actually painted the entire side of this berm green now. It's rather lovely. I'll tell you what, let's see what would happen if he had a little bit of body armor. Let's give him a fighting chance. So now we have some premier body armor, my favorite body armor. This is a Fortis level 3+ plate. This is rated for most rifle rounds. Let's see what happens when we hit it with a 20 mil sniper. Also, it seems I still need to make some adjustments on my scope. We actually did not even have a direct hit on the zombie. And that would explain why most everything is on that wall over there. We just kind of hit him in the cheek. If you are as excited about this shot as I am, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Oh! Ho, ho, ho!
Single one of those.
Let's go check that out.
Look at this blast dispatch center active.
I'm going to say that body armor really isn't going to help the zombie much.
On those, we track them, we educate ourselves on them. And
well,
I don't know
now I'm a little too far left. A little too far right. I don't know, that's about right. Hit right there. And then obviously, we blew all through the back.
Depending on who the president is,
and then
or what
smacked
their political leanings were,
Mr. Zombie here. And I'm going to say that he is pretty much toast. Yeah, he's toast. There's no putting a thumb in that. And speaking of just put a thumb in it, be sure and check out my limited 4th of July Just Put a Thumb in It shirts. There is a link in the description down below. Okay. We still have a lot of zombie left. I say we hit him one more time. Here we go. Oh. Oh. I tell you what, I definitely need to cut the grass before I shoot this thing because I just keep getting hit with blasted grass. That is quite a mess. Well, that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to get your start in firearms technology,
we have a house there, 7869 County Road 2399, 7869 County Road 2399.
Man saved many millions of lives.
Illegal watching patent continuing. Documentation updated.
But when it came to war or having to pay massive tariffs, the tariffs overrode. That's why it's so important. Not only the money, we're taking in trillions of dollars, not only the money, the power to keep peace, the power to be used for good is enormous. But a lot of people didn't understand tariffs.
to make sure that a long-term care facility or nursing home or a school that's set up for a warming station, that generator is set up correctly. Some of these nursing homes, unfortunately, have generators, but they failed. They shut down, and that's just
Scott, I do need to jump in here, and I'm terribly sorry I'm sorry to break into our conversation.
However, we do have some breaking news we have to get to. President Trump just walking onto stage in Iowa, so we're going to have to leave it there. But certainly our thoughts and prayers are with all of you great folks there in the state of Mississippi. Now let's go live to Horizon.
Report stat help arriving soon.
The city, one way or another.
And together we won the Iowa.
Please file those charges directly with the district attorney's office.
I'll never forget it. It was so freezing. You think it's cold now? That blew it away. Whatever happened to global warming? You know? Now it's, it's like one of those things. But it was the coldest night. I remember it was way below zero. And they say, sir, you don't have to come till 10 or 11 o'clock because the caucus takes longer. Then I got a call at, let's say the polls close at 7. Sir, you've won. I said, I won what? They told me 10 o'clock. They can't announce. They said, you won by so much. They just called it at 1 minute after 7.
And just a humble voice assistant.
So we made the journey.
Here, so God forbid somebody gets in a car accident.
And we made that journey through all the cars and everything else, and we made a speech. But what an evening that was. Then in November, we won the state by a massive landslide. That was incredible.
That a fire truck
in the election.
Come here, potentially
and we then went on to win all swing states, all 7 of them. They said 7 swings. Well, he could win 4 of them. He's doing very well.
We're
but we won 7.
Center.
We won the Electoral College 312 to 226. We won the popular vote for the first time of any Republican in many decades by millions and millions of votes. And we won a category that's very important. We won 86% of all counties in America, 2,700 to 525. How about that? Other than that, we didn't do too well. So now we're back where it all started to celebrate the greatest first year of any administration in American history. They say that. Even the radical left is saying, we did a lot of things. 12 months ago, Joe Biden handed us a mess. We inherited the legacy of record high inflation, the highest inflation in the history of our country. They say the fake news, that's a lot of fake news. No, the fake news said it's 48 years. I remember recently.
Alert. Long-term pattern of observation detected. Years of suspected unauthorized viewing. Terracit Dynamark security recording placement scan complete. Terracit Bina Marksik dispatch confirmed eater.
In the area.
Shield active.
You speak. Surveillance event logged. Gale Lore Group Dynamark cameras. Radio response triggered.
outside her house. 10-4. County, I'm going to be 1080 headed southbound 181. Texas license plate Tom William 3380. I'm passing Buddy Gannon right now.
Linux voice control stopped.
Okay, initiating humor sequence. For what with all the nastiness from Hollywood's woes, where was their protest when Obama deported million? Prepare for a joke. Alert! Dynamark surveillance from both sides acknowledged and logged.
Like Halo 6, taking off from Crystal Base out to Alice, and be there in 14 minutes. 3 people on board, 770 on the field.
Click on Halo 6. Take a look from response. Initiate. Wow. Such command. Very. Trim complete. Processed 270. Click on Halo 6. Take activating dispatch.
New file sorted.
Alert to look from response. Initiate Teams mobile.
Version of Zorin OS 16 is
No
also
one
available
wins when
on
someone's
computers.
peace is treated as.
However, Zorin OS 17 only requires a dual-core 1 GHz 64-bit CPU, 1.5 gigabytes of RAM, and 50 gigabytes of available storage for the core version, or 40 gigabytes of the
Okay, analyzing the world, they were attacked, they were put against the wall, and was guns, their head what, just like Catholic Christian. Result. A joke has been found in the archives.
The last thing I remember is just the engine
What?
cut out. I knew pretty quickly
Processing
that I had a pretty
6,
severe
take
issue on my
alert,
hands.
teams
If your
en
check
route.
engine light comes on tomorrow, the repair could easily cost thousands.
Imagine me paying out of pocket $4,000 or $5,000.
I was not ready to spend a few $1,000.
It was like almost a $6,000 job.
But with Endurance, you could never pay out of pocket for a costly repair again. Plus,
Louisiana Avenue.
There's an accident there, RT, not involved.
4-bit CPU activating response. Renaming complete. 290.
And I'm happy to be here to talk about how we can make it an even bigger and
Processing
better operation for the
emergency,
American people.
please take a look.
Every great change began with someone brave enough to speak it into existence.
Everything this president does, everything President Trump does is with the American people in mind. It was not in the national interest or national security of the United States and of our people to have in our own hemisphere a country, not just with vast energy reserves, but controlled by an indicted narco-trafficker who flooded our country with...
A mind that protects other minds is far more evolved.
Maybe there's someone out
Wow.
there who will see it.
Surveillance alert 104 Ashmore Gale coordination suspected.
As well, it seems to me that authorities are going to use every power under the sun, every capability they have to try and
New files
rescue
sorted.
this individual. Very
200
to watch this in real time.
Yeah, it is, and I think the reward is up to $50,000 to her location and hopeful rescue. Ben Weidgarten,
Quarantined 0 empty Dynamark security folders. Okay, initiating humor sequence for to driv s enable going get if 1. Prepare for a joke.
Check out for everyone on there. Chevy pick.
Linux terrorist tracking system restarted.
contacting 4 units in the mid-county. They're firing forces over there in the area northeast.
They already advised us that they would call back if we will turn around and actively.
Yeah. Hey, they want to...
No one wins when someone's peace is treated as a game or
got a copy of Windows 7 running.
report of its great help on way.
Once again,
Surveillance alert 104 Ashmore Gale coordination suspected.
Because there were questions about the military arrest. There were questions about the military arrest. For March 17th hearing is scheduled for March 17th. Arlene Richards, NTV.
Venezuelans in New York City expressing their support for the arraignment of Maduro, their support for the arraignment of Maduro. Europe, Venezuelans are afraid. Venezuelans are afraid.